Hello, Lisa Richmond here, intuitive medium, and I am wanting to come on here right now because I was given an opportunity today to do a reading that was amazing. All my readings are great, but the one today really brought forward a message that I want to share because, as you have it, it is a reoccurring theme, and it is one that Spirit would really like me to share with more than just my clients. So here it goes. Essentially, what's happening right now is we are, like I've said before, and we've heard from a lot of people, we are ascending right now. We're moving into a higher frequency timeline, but we have to choose this timeline. So instead of looking to the exterior stuff around us and saying, I want to manifest XYZ, I want to be there, I got to focus on that. It's actually, you turn it around and you focus on you. And when you're in your highest frequency timeline, that's when the things around you change. And so you are like the things that you see and bring forward to you is the reflection of what's going on inside. Okay. So that's something that we've talked about quite a bit. So you can decide what you want your timeline to be. You can decide what you want around you just by your own thoughts. Your thoughts are the dictator, always. So if you're starting to see a bunch of stuff show up around you that's surrounded by fear, not having enough, like resentment, being disconnected from that life force, that love, then you can really take a step back and say, where are my thoughts? What are my belief systems right now? What am I giving energy to feed this so that all of this is showing up around me? Because that's not all showing up around you because that's what you deserve, or that's just what life throws at you. That's literally what you've created around you based upon the energetic frequency that you're putting out. So a great way to know where you're at is looking around you to see what's showing up. If it's not what you want, it's not that, it's coming back into yourself and changing your energetic output to the world, okay? That is going to be the key to change. So that's one, that's the first thing. And then from moving from that, a way to go in and change these thought patterns, if that's what we're going to need to do, which most of us are doing right now, take a look at, this is where it gets a little deeper. Take a look at some of these unconscious thought patterns that seem to drive our force each and every day. Whether it be your relationship to money, finances, it can be, in relationships, what you give out versus what you get in, feeling like you're giving, and then you're not receiving back, or people are taking advantage of you, or it can be in love. Why don't I ever date, the person that treats me with like love and respect? Here's the kicker. All of these things are coming and reflecting back to you because of the belief system and the thought patterns that we're actually giving out. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because it really gives the power to them. And no, we don't want to say it's your fault that all this stuff is happening. But it's really about applying your actual thought patterns and then seeing what comes forward based upon that. And then if we look at what our thought patterns are, like some of those really limiting beliefs, like I had mentioned, go further and see where they came from. Because chances are they were given to you and they're not even yours. They're not even your belief system. So it's not like you came into this world thinking, like you were born this little baby thinking, okay, I am not worthy of love this life. My perception of self is on the scale of receiving, disconnection, someone who doesn't show up for my needs. I give and give and give and don't receive because that's all I'm worth. Like we aren't born with that. That's not something that we're given. we're carrying around these burdens, these belief systems, chances are like our whole life, or from certain time periods that they were really like hyper focused. So then we're walking around with all this baggage, essentially, that is leading our thought pattern, therefore connecting those thought pattern to that like energy, that of not enoughness, that of disconnect, that of disrespect, or whatever it might be. Okay. So here's what kind of came up for that is take a minute and ask yourself, what am I carrying around that's not actually mine? What are the belief systems that I came in this world with, or that I've been carrying around with me regarding money, love, health, receiving of love, receiving of whatever it might be, abundance in all forms? What is holding me back? You can say X, Y, Z. Oh, I lost my job, or this. Essentially, what happens in the universal order of things is that whatever going on around you is a direct reflection of alignment into what you're putting out, because like attracts like, whatever it might be. So if you want to have that abundant input and you want to have that unobstructed love and acceptance, gotta go inside here, right? Simply said. Except how then do we change that frequency? How can we emit this energetic love frequency, or this belief system of trust and receptivity, when we haven't been carrying it around our whole life? Well, that's what we need to go back, and we don't have to dig into it and do years and years and years of therapy, although that might help, but we can also take a look at some of these belief systems and literally put them down and say, I've been believing my whole life that, here's a common one, I'm just going to use it, that men leave you. That if you're, in a relationship, a man will leave me if he finds somebody that he finds more beautiful or whatever. Okay, say, pretend that's your belief system. Go in and be like, where did that come from? Because little baby you didn't come in with that belief system. You can go back in and not have to mess around with any of it and just say, hey, I return this. This is not mine. I'm not carrying it around with me anymore because it is not mine to carry. I am 100% worthy of unconditional love, support, and connection as anybody else. And it is not topped at a certain amount of love. It is an ongoing, continuous frequency that I am available for and I can receive. And maybe that's your affirmation every day. Or having the whole money thing. Money is such a big thing right now. It's what's your belief system around money? That when it comes in, hold on to it so tight so that it doesn't go away. Well, then what happens? You obstruct your ability to give and receive in equal amounts. And when you can give and receive in equal amounts, then all of a sudden that openness of abundant receptivity continues to grow. And then we can start looking around us and seeing how our environment is reflecting back to us what we're giving out. And I know it can seem like a lot because there's always X, Y, Z. There's always stuff that's hard. And then we can go back to being like, I knew it. I knew it. Because in the back of your mind, you might have thought, hey, I don't actually trust this process. I don't actually believe that this is here to stay. Right? And so then inevitably what happens? It comes around and it reflects back to us. But the beautiful thing about this is these are cycles that we can cut. We can stop these cycles because they were given to us. And chances are they were given to the people that gave them to us. So we can choose right now what we want to walk with or what we want to disconnect from. And I challenge you to start reframing your thought pattern and your affirmation each and every day, even if at the beginning it might not feel like that's the way to do it or that works. Confirm to yourself that you are able to receive and give in equal formation, and that your love frequency is able to give and receive without any obstruction whatsoever. And that if there is a fear that comes up or a belief system, say, hey, oh, I'm acknowledging this, I'm observing it, and I'm going to choose not to think that. Even if behind your head you're like, oh yeah, right. No, really. I'm going to say, this thought came up, and I don't want to carry this with me anymore. So I don't even know where I got it from, but I know that's not me and that's not what I want. So I'm going to send this back, recycle it back into the universal love energy, and I'm just going to open my heart to the receptivity of the abundant form of anything and everything that's available to me. And these little affirmations on a daily basis are going to start to change the frequency output that you have as a human, as an individual. And then watch what is naturally connected to you, what naturally then is like a magnetic force to that belief system. It's unbelievable how it starts to change. There's no magic pill. There's no like crazy algorithm that you have to figure out, or that these 10-step process until life fulfillment. It's like, sure, if you want to sell a bunch of stuff, but I promise you, as soon as you start going through your own inventory of belief systems that you know aren't yours, that are obstructing your natural ability to receive and give in equal formation, just let it go. And it takes a sec, because it's like a muscle that hasn't been used in a while. It takes practice. And so but now that you've heard it, you can't unhear it. Acknowledge how you can actually bring even a little bit of this into your daily routine, a little bit of this into your life on a daily basis, and see what happens. And start to take note of the things that are shifting and changing. As your frequency output changes, what around you starts to change and come back to you. So this is just like Spirit's little like tidbit for the weekend. Except it's Wednesday, it's not the weekend. But anyway, I give this to you with love, and I hope that it is received, or at least somebody hears it, that you can take this and have a little jewel and start to change that thought pattern a bit, so that you can start to see the difference in what comes back for you. So with this message, I bring in all love for each and every one of you. And I hope to see you on the other side.